If we're talking about guitar tone, we have to talk about speakers. So today on Guitar Tone Central, we're talking speakers. Welcome everybody to Guitar Tone Central. Today we're going to talk about guitar tone, but in a kind of a different way, because the tone that comes out of the guitar has to come out a speaker. That's really what you hear it through. So that speaker is an integral component of your tone. So how do you know what speaker to choose, what it's going to do for your sound, and even more importantly, as well as the speaker, is what kind of enclosure it's in. Before we get into all those little exciting details, please like us and share us down below. Don't forget to click the subscribe button with the notification bell so that you can see when our next videos come out, and share them with all your friends. So thank you. We greatly appreciate that and appreciate you being here with us. So what do I have here today? This is a speaker cabinet built by a company called Solid. They're local here in the Tampa area. Very unique cabinet. I'll tell you a little bit about that. But the general concept is that a speaker is always going to be in a cabinet, right? The difference is it going to be a sealed cabinet or is it going to be an open back cabinet? And that's going to make a big difference in your tone, as you're going to find out in a little bit. Now, what the size of the cabinet is, you might notice this is kind of deep. A lot of times a single 12 cabinet will be very, very shallow. And in this case, it's deep because it's designed with certain parameters in mind. Now, we'll get into that in a future video. We'll talk to Jeff, who created these Solid speaker cabinets using special formulas to get optimal sound for a given speaker. But the thing we want to consider today is, okay, what can I do to optimize my tone coming out of my amp? Now, you might only have just a combo amp, and combos are usually open back because you got the heat from the tubes, or it's just generally lighter weight, simpler to have an open back cabinet. So we have two of these Solid cabinets with us today. They're both going to be loaded with the exact same speaker, a Celestion G12T75, and we're going to play our Somnium guitar through two cabinets. And one of them, we're going to take this back panel off, so you've got open air. The other one, we're going to leave it sealed. Now, this is completely sealed. Even this jack hole is a solid jack, so no air is going to escape from it. And that makes a difference in the tone. We're going to find out exactly what it does. So we're going to get into that in a little bit. What I want to talk to you about is how we're going to do this is through a switchblade pedal. Now what that is, we're going to show you what that looks like here in the corner of the video. It's made by Electro-Harmonix. So it's going to let me switch live as I'm playing from one cabinet to the other. You basically use those normally to switch from one amp to another. So if you have, you know, twin reverb for clearer bluesy stuff, and you have a Marshall head for your overdrive songs, you normally use that. You can switch between amps without having to change plugs. We thought, okay, how about we switch between speaker cabinets, because it does the same thing. So we can A/B your sound. And this is something you might want to consider once you hear what's going on here. So we're going to do some tone exploring, and naturally, I need my Explorer hat and take this stuff seriously. So tell you what, I got to go grab my guitar. I think it's right here. Yeah, it's right where I left it. So what I want to do is we're going to play it through our Mesa Boogie 550 Express amp, and we're going to switch between open back and closed back. So we're going to try a little bit of a bluesy type of a sound at first, and my handy dandy guitar pick is not so handy. So hey, I know, I'll just get it where I got the my guitar. Hang on. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's the one I wanted anyways. So what we're going to do is we're going to play through the open back cabinet, and I'm just going to switch to the closed back cabinet. Let's take a listen to what we get. This is on a crunchy bluesy type of tone. All right. What do you think? Quite a difference. So what's happening is with the open back cabinet, the speaker is moving. You've seen them vibrate. When you have open air behind it, that speaker cone has no resistance, not to air anyway. There's three things that a speaker has resistance on. It's got a foam surround that's the speaker hangs on its frame. That's stiff. Different stiffnesses give you different resistance. It's got electronic or electromagnetic resistance, which is the coil and the magnet that make the speaker cone move. And then you have pneumatic resistance, which is air pressure. So when the speaker can move more freely, generally, you get better bass. You get a lower tone. The other thing that you get is sound out of both sides of the cabinet. So you're getting sound out the front, and then you're also hearing it come out the back and bounce off the walls. So that adds to your tone. It adds to the space, how it feels in the room or the area where you're playing, but it also changes how the speaker moves. So that gives you that deeper, darker tone. So on an E chord, that's a closed back. Hear that deeper tone? That is way deeper. So it's not just the lower tone, though, it's the directionality. Because when I know you're not here, you're here with us, but you're not here to see how directional the tone is. Where I have this enclosed cabinet, if I aim it this way, you're getting a lot more focus on where that sound is going. So it's not as deep. We'll start with this is same open back. Here in the room, you can tell right where it's almost like your ears go right to that spot, like your eyes would if a truck pulled into your driveway. What's that? Same thing. That's what happens here spatially with the sound. So we're getting a tighter sound. You're losing some of that bass, okay? But then again, for certain songs, you want a tight sound. Like Eddie Van Halen, his series of combo amps, even though normally combos have open backs, with his, they separated, and we got one of those here, a 6505 Plus from Peavey, but the amp section is open, the speaker section is closed, because Eddie liked that tight sound. And so for certain styles of music, that's what you want. So how do you reconcile that with which cabinet should I get? Well, something to consider is maybe you get more than one. You could do what we have here, is two of these cabinets side by side, and they're both mic'd, by the way, by SM57, so we're keeping everything, the sound is being recorded with the exact same G12T75 in both cabinets, exact same SM57s in front of them. So something you might want to consider is, what if I played them together? The nice thing about that Electro-Harmonix switchblade pedal is it lets you A/B them separately or let you combine them. So we're going to do that so you can hear what that sounds like. So set that pedal up a little better. So we got that tight tone. You get that tighter, little bit more mid and high frequency, really tighter mid-range to me. That's what I'm hearing with the closed back cabinet. So you're adding to that depth that you get with the open back cabinet. So it gives your tone a different, really two dimensions. So now that's with a P90 single coil. How about we check out what it sounds like with a humbucker? And we're going to use good old-fashioned Seymour Duncan Trembucker, same bridge position and passive pickups. So let's see what we get. Open back cabinet. We've talked before about layers of sound, that when you record, it's cool to have multiple tracks used with different pickups so that you can, with the same guitar, same strings, same feel, but you have layers. It adds depth to your sound. And I don't know if you could hear it, but when I put that last lick was with both speaker cabinets, you can hear, I can hear here in the studio, that extra layer. And now you could A/B it and have them on opposite sides of the stage or opposite sides of the room. We have them side by side, but it's a way to take your tone to a new level by adding some speaker depth and speaker dimension to your tone. So we wanted to bring you that little tidbit of information because we have fun with this kind of stuff here. We get to experiment with these speaker cabinets. And there's a lot more to the story, by the way, with the solid speaker cabinets. So that's going to be in an upcoming video. So like I said, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time when we talk more in depth about these cabinets.